Today we're being joined by Savannah Codd from the Gws Aflw Academy side. Savannah, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Now, tell us a bit about yourself. What got you into footy and what type of player you are?
Yeah, so I started footy when I was 11. So it's been 7 years now since I've been playing. I started off with Kellyville Rouse Hill Magpies in my junior years. And then I came into women's footy, senior footy, when I was 15 at the East Coast Eagles. I play on the wing and back end of last year and this year, I've been moved into the back line as well. So I'd say I'm a pretty quick player who has a lot of tackle pressure, I'd say.
Yeah, nice. That's very good. I was going to ask you, what would you say some of your biggest strengths would be? Just that?
Yeah, so I'd probably say my tackle pressure for sure, which I think I've kind of only discovered like last year that was a strength of mine. Yeah, and I can utilize that well on the wing and in the back line.
Oh, nice, that's good. So obviously being a part of the Gold Coast GWS, rather, should I say, Academy, how did that opportunity come about to be part of an academy like with the Giants?
Yeah, so I've been fortunate enough to I grew up with the Giants and I started in their development program, which was a very long time ago. So I've been brought through that system, which has really helped me develop as a player a lot. And I've seen so many great outcomes from it. So yeah, that's really helped me become the player that I am today, being in the academy and coming through that system.
No, that's good. So how's it been in the academy in the long time that you've been in part of, in particular the one you're in right now? How's that been for you?
Yeah, so we just finished up the academy last week. So we're done for now since we do have a shorter season. It's been really good for myself, like I said before, with my development and being able to utilize the people that we have. So all of our coaches, all the staff, players. So it's been really good. I'd say probably for everyone to develop and grow as both a person and a player.
That's good. So obviously you said the academy's been done up, obviously been part of the coach league for X amount of rounds that it's been, and then having, now parting away from that. So what do you do in this time from a football point of view? Do you just go play locally still? How does that work for you? Because it's interesting, because normally for a lot of clubs, especially in Vic or in WA or SA, you're in that whole season for the whole way through and you're having kind of mixed seasons.
Yeah, so definitely. This year I did not play Coates Talent League. I've been with my club this year. So I've started the first 4 rounds playing club, and now just carrying on with that as the rest of the academy girls will do now. And that's kind of the way it works, since we do have a shorter season, whereas like you said, a lot of they all have a long season of Coates. So yeah, we just play out of our club season now, but it's really good for us younger girls to come into the senior footy and bring back what we've learnt from academy and be able to bring in all of that knowledge and all those skills which we've learnt to help out the club, which is really good.
So what were some goals you set for yourself at the start of this year, or that you've kind of set for yourself now?
Yeah, so definitely this year, and maybe even last year, I struggled a lot with the mental side of things. I really just came to realize that footy isn't all just about the physicality side of things, and it is all a mental game. So I'd probably say this year, I've just tried to just keep loving footy and, not overthinking it, and just come back. If I'm having a crappy game, just come back to my A game and being able to utilize my strengths and give what I can give, and being able to not put myself down, if I miss a kick or miss a tackle, for example. So I'd say for now and the remainder of years, to just really focus on myself and make sure the mental side of things are good. And if you're good there, then you have a good game.
It's good. Now, a name that you're very familiar with, Abby Martin, who obviously got that opportunity to play for the Swans VFLW, so their inaugural game went no against the Doggies. She's obviously someone that you play with locally and someone that's helped you get to where you are so far, I take from what you've told me.
Yes, definitely. So, Abs, love her. She really helped me and mentored me when I became in the backline last year, and when I joined the backline at East Coast. So she really helped me with like the directional chat, and she still does. Just about where to be on the field, on and off the field. She helps in the most amazing ways. And all the girls in the backline, like. I wasn't too keen on the back line at the start, but I definitely now see myself as a back, and that's one of my positions. They've all helped me so much, so like without all of those girls, Abby, Renee Tompkins, we have Bailey, we have so many girls back there that have really helped me become the player that I am now in the back line.
That's great to hear, and I mean. You're no stranger to goal, Savannah, but obviously now more so, it might be less likely than in the past. Obviously, you just said playing on the wing, it'd be more common now, playing in the back lines. Now, over your career, obviously, at any level, Savannah, what would you say is some of the best goals you've ever gotten at any level?
Like goal kicking goals?
Yeah, those goals, yes.
Well, so in my junior years, I used to be a forward and a mid. So I was switch between there down in the junior years, and now as I've been in the senior team, I find myself I'm in the forward line sometimes. This year I have played in the forward line a little bit there. I think I probably kick goals best when I use my tackle pressure, and they get called holding the ball, so I get a free kick. I think that's where, not that I kick many goals, but when I do, most of the time it's probably off of just the defense, and getting a free kick from that, I'd say.
That's fair enough. In terms of some individual achievements and premierships, obviously you won the 2023 premiership with the East Coast Eagles in the Premier Division, Savannah. So that must have been something you must be pretty proud of, to be a part of a grand final and a winning one.
No, definitely. So I've been fortunate enough that every year I've played footy, I've made a grand final, but I've never won a grand final up until last year. And to be able to win one with the girls, it was a surreal moment, and it was something that I will remember forever. And it was honestly just like the best day. And it was back to back for us as well. Hopefully continue that this year. But no, it was definitely one for the books. It was very good.
That's good. Do you remember the lead up to that game and how you were feeling compared to obviously at the end, which would have been way better, I'm sure?
Yeah, so I'm a very nervous person before any game, no matter who we're playing, where I'm playing. I'm always nervous. I always have the nerves. I definitely was very nervous to the lead up of that. And the team we versed, UTS Bats, we lost against them in one of the last rounds of the season. But I think that we needed that loss I think we all just wanted to beat them so bad. And then to, be up against them in the grand final, and we all played a really good game. It was definitely something that we needed, that loss to, be able to come back like that, and, do a back-to-back with the girls. I didn't play that the year previously when they won, but, for all those girls that did win back-to-back, and for me to win my first premiership, it honestly was just such a great moment to cherish and, celebrate with all of them.
Absolutely, that is. And would you describe yourself as more of a nervous person before any games in general, let alone a grand final? You're normally pretty calm.
No, I'm definitely nervous all the time, no matter what game it is. I always find, always nervous up until I get the first touch or first tackle in the game, and then, the nerves ease and they calm, which is good. So it definitely is just like the lead up into that, I'd say, yeah.
Now, also in 2023, seemed to be a very good year for yourself. You obviously also got a Rising Star nomination. I think it was round 4th, top of my head in that year. Must be a huge get a Rising Star nomination for an entire competition at that point in time.
Yeah, it honestly came as such a shock and surprise to me. last year was my first year playing a full year in Premier Division, and it was round 4, so it was very early on in the season for me, and I didn't expect it whatsoever. But to be nominated that round, it really did help with my confidence, since that is one thing that I lack in. So it was really good, and all the girls got around me, which was great. That was a good moment. 2023 was a good year.
Definitely seems like Rising Star nomination, winning the grand final. Just can't get much better than that. Now, I think this is pretty obvious, but I'm going to ask you anyway. What are some nicknames you get? Because I hear Sav gets floated around, and Fish as well.
So everyone calls me Sav. So I get Sav, I get Savvy. Fish, that was one which I didn't hear until it was in the Rising Star details. So I had some coaches, a bunch of the coaches called me that. Get Sava, I get, have all of them. I never get called my actual name, but I like the nickname, so.
That's good, nice and basic, and obviously Cod being a fish, it makes,
exactly, makes sense.
Sure. Now, in your first year of footy, we talked about 2023 being a great year for you too, Sav, and 2017, your first year in footy, was, I think, something that was on par at least with that. Probably more significant to a degree, because it was your first year, and what you achieved in that year was pretty good, winning the goal kicking award, which I love myself. But you won the best and fairest as well on top of that. How was that first year? Not playing at those levels before, and just pulling a B&F and just winning a goal kicking that year.
Well, that was my first year of footy ever. I'd never played. I played, just some like local school footy, primary school. But I always grew up watching footy, but I never actually played. And I just had a heap of friends that were all playing, and I just gave it a go. And then I think that year was. I honestly don't really remember it, if I'm being honest. I grew up with a bunch of the girls that I played with then, still playing with now, like Bridget Corcoran, played against her and with her now, which is great. But that first year we had lost or just missed out on the grand final, I remember. But I don't remember too much of my performance that year, but so I was a goal kicker back then, but definitely wouldn't call myself one now.
Fair enough. If you're going to, probably a tough question here, if you were to say 2017 or 2023, which one do you feel was better for you personally?
2023 for sure, without a doubt. I think obviously as I've gotten older, and that was only last year, so very recent. It definitely winning my first grand final after a heap of time. Playing a full season in Premier Division. It was great. 2023 was a great year for footy.
Sure. Now, in the Giants Academy, obviously being amongst some girls that have, been playing in that coastal level, like you mentioned, and getting touted like Ashley Patton's a name that comes to mind straight away. What's it like playing with those girls, and who's some of your favourite teammates at the club?
That's a tough question. I love everyone. My bestest friends ever have come from Giants and footy in general. But I think it's really good to, train and be up against those girls and have a friendly contest. We're all really dedicated, obviously. And, it's really good to be able to play alongside them. And then when we go back to clubland as well, like to play against them, not only be in the same team at Giants and have to play against them. But I'd say, I don't know, like, as I mentioned earlier, I've grown up with Bridget. I play with her now, played against her in our early years. Ava Barclough, Megan Misfit, they've all been and now, and I like my best friend. I've made some really great friendships and relationships, but I'd honestly say everyone. I love everyone to bits.
Good. Now, on the trend of teammates, Sav, who loves limelight, the attention, the camera at the Giants Academy, and they can't get enough of it, and they know exactly what to do when that camera's around?
You know, I'd say there's quite a few girls that are good in front of the camera. I think they just have that natural sense about them to be in front of the camera. Probably say Meigs is a funny one. She's a funny one. Yeah, so she would definitely be there. Maybe Ava as well. She's good at speaking. You know, I say Ava, Meigs, Bridget as well. We have Amy as well, who we spoke to. Yeah, a lot of the older girls, Emily, Pato. Yeah, probably. I think anyone, but yeah, I'd say all the older girls would step up. We have some of the younger ones as well that they're just hilarious. And I think they would be perfect if there was an opportunity like that. So honestly, anyone if they had the chance to.
Yeah, there we go. Everyone loves a bit of me time then. So it's a good thing. Some people think it's an automatic bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. You can be confident in talking. You can be just liking it. Sometimes it's not forced on you, but like, you know, if a club's filming you and you're a good player, or you're someone that just, you know, that brings that energy. I mean, they're going to put it on you because they know that's what's going to attract views and everything like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I feel like if anyone had that chance and opportunity, anyone would be good at that. Yeah.
Good. Now, who would you say some underrated teammates at the club that kind of fly under the radar a little bit and don't get talked about as much in the academy as you feel that they should?
First person that comes to my mind is Eliza Matthews. She came over from Swans Academy.
Okay.
And yeah, she plays on the wing, and she's probably just the most consistent player that I know. And you know, we've been really close over this, both pre-season and now in season as well. Yeah, I'd probably say Lizzie is up there. She's just a very consistent player. Yeah, she's the first person that I think of.
That's good. Who are some players that have been a part of the Giants Academy that have moved on to even been promoted to a degree to the AFW level? Is there any that you've played alongside throughout that time that have progressed to that level, whether it's at the Giants or moved to another club?
Yeah, so Cleo Butterfin played with her last year, who's now at the Bulldogs, who got drafted. Played with Cleo last year, which was great. There's Mel Staunton, who was our captain last year, and she's just such a great person. And, you know, she really drove all of the mentality into all of our heads last year, you know, which was really good. Them too. Then we have some of the older girls who, you know, played along with and now are either doing their own thing or moved. I'd say at East Coast, there's been a lot of girls that have gotten drafted from East Coast as well, that even now play Giants VFLW, and will come back. So we have Teagues, Summer, Ali Dalloway used to play with us, Tani Evans, there's a whole handful of them. So I'm fortunate enough to, you know, play alongside some of them. Just missed out of playing with some of them, but now they're in the big leagues, which is good. Yeah, no, but it definitely is. It's a great environment to be able to be with all those older girls that are, you know, in that scenery and get that experience, and are able to bring that back to clubland, which is amazing.
So that seems that a lot of players have either at AFW now or have been in some capacity at some point in time that have come from the East Coast Eagles. So they're producing some good players out of there. And Ali Dalloway is a prime example of that, who's now at Richmond now.
No, exactly. Yeah, so we've had a lot of girls that have been very, very successful from East Coast, which is so great to see. And, you know, they're still around the club. Still come around. I think we have about 5 girls that are playing VFLW at the moment that are out, haven't been playing. Caitlin Reid, who's been playing for Geelong VFLW as well. So we have all of these main girls that have, you know, been able to get that opportunity to play VFLW, which is amazing, and allows them to come back to club as well and, you know, teach all of us something, which is really good.
No, that's good. Now I'm going to put the hard-hitting questions continue, Sav. So, out of all the names that you've just brought up in this entire part about teammates, who would you say is the best player of the ones that have gone on to play AFLW and the one you're playing with right now?
Oh, that is such a tough question. That is honestly such a tough question. There's no one in particular. Like I genuinely cannot pinpoint one person. Yeah, I think that's too tough. They're all such amazing players, and to be able to play with them is, just great. I'm not too sure. I honestly can't think of one person because, yeah, it's honestly just all of them are great.
That's fair enough. Sometimes you just don't want to ruffle feathers. Is what you're getting at.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. All good in their own right, and all of them that you just mentioned. All right, now, so you talked about obviously playing through the wing and then now transitioning kind of towards the back line. If you had the choice, though, to pick the position you want to play in, what position would that be?
That's a tough one as well. I question this to myself quite a lot. I think I can bring different strengths to each position that I play. I'd say I probably, even when I'm on the back line, I like to get into the contest. I like to push up. So I think on the wing, I played most of the year last year on the wing, and then the back end of the season in the back line. But then again, I also, when I'm in the back line, like I just feel so comfortable back there. And that's all thanks to the girls. But I've learnt so much education from being on the wing, being on the wing in Giants, and East Coast as well. Like I've gotten such great education on that position. And I think that, I'm just on autopilot when I'm there on how to be in that position, which I think is really good and has helped me a lot. So it's a bit of a tricky question. Trust me, either, and I'd be happy.
I mean, you used to kick goals, played on the wing, now down back. So you kind of played everywhere by the ruck, pretty much.
Exactly. Don't think I'll ever be in the ruck.
Stay away from that.
Yeah.
Don't want to get what do you call it? Get damage with your knees or whatever.
No.
Okay. That wouldn't want that at all. Who did you grow up supporting in the AFL-AFLW?
Giants. So I've been a Giants supporter since I could first remember. So I've grown up watching the Giants, and now being able to be in the academy, and have gone through that is really great. Just have stuck with them that whole time.
And nice, that's good. So obviously throughout the academy, obviously I'm sure over time, not necessarily right now, but maybe over the time that you've been there, obviously had some of those AFLW girls, or maybe the guys as well, that have come through to help you to earlier about learning and education. And who are some players that have come through that time that you've kind of learnt from?
So we've had Elise Parker at some trainings before, which helps us, gives us great insight. Obviously being one of the best players, it's really good to have her there. I think 2 years ago we had Ali Galloway, who would come and do some line coaching with us. Georgie Fowler at the time as well. In the forwards, we had them as some of our line coaches, which I think was really good for all of us girls. And at the time, being so young, and looking up to and still looking up to those girls, has been great. And now being able to be, friends with some of them, play alongside them, which is really cool.
Absolutely, it is. And I mean, how beneficial, Sav, do you feel it is to play or be amongst a club that has a name attached to an AFL-AFLW club? Because some people in some academies, they're good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them, but like you've got that Giants name, you got more of the players. Like for example, what I'm getting at is you get some of those players coming from time to time where some other academies wouldn't get that at all.
Yeah, I think it's very beneficial for all of us girls, both mentally, to have that mindset that we have these players in front of us, and it's which is great, and we're all able to learn, grasp onto that professional level, which is really good. And also then being able to coach us through the physicality side of things as well, and teach us, how to win, like where to be in a ruck tap out, if you're sweeping roll or on the wing, like what angle you should be on. Just all these little things which you wouldn't think of. And now it's just into our heads, which is really good, and helps us and helps everyone on the field and helps people play a better game and be a better player.
That's good. So obviously at the Giants, obviously, as many people would have seen, people that may not have been there before, I haven't been there myself, but I've seen photos of it to know this. There's that big G logo at Giants headquarters. Have you gone to take a photo there with that massive letter G?
Yes, I think that's one thing the girls and I always do. We're always taking pics when we're there at the headquarters, which is it's really cool and so surreal to be able to train there and use those facilities. I think we all fangirl a little when we're in there.
For sure. Now, speaking of something similar, photo day. Who's the one that would be one to just overdo it in terms of getting ready or trying to look good for the photo shoot or whatever you want to call it? Who's the one that takes too long or either just completely overdoes it?
Oh, honestly, I actually can't think of anyone. I think we all are kind of in
Equal.
a different. Yeah, I think we're all pretty equal in that sense. All want to look good for the camera. Or sometimes we don't even care, to be honest. We're just there to play footy at the end of the day. So yeah.
I hear some stories of people that it seems like going off hearing other examples through this or just reading it online or hearing videos. Some people love that more than anything else. Sometimes it seems like it. They may not say, but it just seems like they like this is their moment.
Yeah, no, I definitely get what you mean. I think at the end of the day, all of us girls, we're just there to play footy. That's what we love. So that's kind of just another thing for us.
Right. Is there any coaches' pets at the club?
Oh, no, I think everyone's equal. No.
Can't break you. That's okay. We're still gonna have another few.
Not.
I'll have a few more throws at the stumps later, or throughout this. So, all right. So, if you were to use an AFL for W player comparison to the type of style of player that you probably like, so who would you say that would be?
For myself? Oh, that's a tough one. I'm not too sure, being on the wing and also now in backline. I'd probably like someone as like an AFL player that plays not similar to me, but like who has a similar position. I'd probably say Errol Goulden. He's on the wing and he also is good to sweep back in defence. And then he's everywhere, to be honest. In all positions, but he's a winger, but when he's in the back line, he always makes an impact as well. I'd probably say him as an AFL player. AFLW player. I'm not too sure. I look up to all of them, all the AFLW girls, especially the Giants ones. Being able to, I've grown up like watching them and playing for the academy now and seeing them firsthand. I would love to be able to like play and have the moves that they all have. So there's no one in particular I would take any of them.
Any outside of footy interests that you have?
No. Footy's my number one.
And only one, it seems.
Yeah.
That's good. Any favourite TV shows or movies?
Oh, there's a few. There's a bit too many. Can't name them off the top of my head.
Any particular genre?
Pardon?
Particular genre, like comedy, drama?
Probably like teen romance or like upcoming teens. You know, I like all the high school TV shows where you watch them grow up, kind of thing. Like Gilmore Girls, One Tree Hill, like all the old 2000s shows.
Oh, yeah.
I'd say, yeah, definitely.
That's fair enough. What would you say is the best individual game set that you've ever played at any point in time?
See, as I mentioned earlier, since I do tend to put myself down a lot, if I have a good game, I'd even say, "Oh no, it wasn't a good game." But I think I probably this year specifically, I think each game I've been playing pretty decent, and I've come out of majority games. You know, I think footy is a great outlet to, you know, if you have things bottled up inside of you, it's a great outlet to be able to take it all out on the field, which is something that I've really come to realize that I can use that as my outlet. And I've also, you don't have to have the ball. You don't have to have so many touches to have a good game. You know, there's so much more than that. And I think I've learnt that being in the back line. I think that was one thing that I struggled with was, you know, not having the ball at all times and having your hand on the ball. But as I mentioned, like tackling and my pressure being one of my strengths, I think that's when I've come to terms with myself that, you know, one good tackle, you know,
Yeah.
making tackles, sticking them, yeah, makes me happy in a game. And yeah.
I know that's good. Now we spoke about goals a little bit before in terms of goals for the big sticks. What would you say though is the best goal you've ever got? Now you mentioned before about being the packs and kind of being your preferred type of shots. Is there any particular goal that you've got that you remember that at any level that sticks out? Like anything from the pocket, any snaps?
No, not that I can remember. I genuinely don't kick goals often much anymore. I kicked one like a few weeks ago, and that was off of a free kick.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I like to, you know, keep the safe shots. I would just do a drop punt any day.
Now, this one can be as unrealistic as you want on the same topic of goals. If you were to best describe the best goal you would love to ever get, you can be as unrealistic as you want. You can add in the distance, the angle, the moment, the occasion. What shot would you love to do?
Oh, I would love to do a, you know, grand final winning goal, kick of the game
Yep.
after the siren. That would be really great. You know, I think the pressure would get to me maybe. But in an ideal world, that would be a pretty good, I think would be a pretty good one. Or maybe even just running onto the ball, clean it up,
Yeah,
in the goals, win the game.
be nice and good. Now, I know you say you haven't kicked many goals lately, but do you have a go-to goal celebration? And did you have a celebration a few weeks ago?
Not a few weeks ago, but one of my teammates who's our captain in East Coast, Chloe Arndt, her and I, towards the back end of last year, one of us will kick a goal. She likes to kick goals. We would do the Errol Goulden and Chad Warner celebration where they come up, you know, do the big chest pump.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we had that. I think we only did it once. I think it only ever made it once. Yeah, no, we do that. You know, the girls like to get around the goal celebrations, which is good. Yeah, no, but I'd probably say that's the first one that comes to my mind, that I've done recently.
Is there any, though, that some teammates at any level, whether it's academy girls or at East Coast, that are trying to convince you to do something, though, if you do get another one soon?
Oh, yeah, no, before the games, the girls and I, you know, will be talking, and then it's kind of just like we're in warm-up, "Oh, if you get a goal, do this," you know, kind of thing. And a lot of the girls do it if someone kicks a goal, you know, the celebrations. Yeah, good to get around the girls and, you know, have a funny celebration at the end of the day.
Absolutely, for sure. Now, again, still on the topic of goals, mark or goal of the year. Which one would you rather do and why?
Oh, I'd say Mark, to be honest. Yeah, I think, as I said earlier, I think in my younger years, I would have said goal. I definitely would have said goal. But I think now, yeah, Mark would be pretty cool. little specky or something.
That'd definitely be nice for sure. Can't say I've
Yeah.
ever done that, but goals I have.
Me either, but would be good to do one.
It would. It would. I still always choose goals because I just always played forward, and I've always played. I don't really play now. I just do goal kicking challenges on my channel instead, which
Yeah.
I love the goals, but they're
No,
nice as
so
well.
fair enough.
Leadership aspirations, Sav. Is that something you've ever been a part of a leadership group in any form, or is it something you want to get into in the future?
In my younger years, when I played juniors, I was a part of the leadership group, which, being such a young teen girl, which was really cool, to be in the leadership team. I definitely think, at Giants, being in one of the older age groups, it's important not only for us older girls, but even for the younger girls, for everyone to step up in a way, make valuable comments and things like that. With senior footy, our captain now, Chloe, that I mentioned earlier, not only she's a great captain, but off the field, one of my best friends. And I think I really look up to the leadership team that we do have at club. And I'm very fortunate to be able to have been welcomed so comfortably and easily into senior footy. Obviously, being such a young girl coming into senior footy with all the big girls, but I think they all step up and make everyone feel welcome. So all of the older girls that I play with, like I look up to all of them. In a leadership way, and I would, they all are leaders in my eyes.
Oh, nice, that's good. Did you play any other sports besides footy throughout your time?
Yeah, so I grew up dancing. I was a dancer, which is a weird switch from being a dancer to footy.
Yeah.
In my younger years, I played soccer for a little bit, and for school. So kind of a weird switch to footy now, but I would not change being a footy player now for anything.
Yeah, that's fair. Did you ever have a go-to dance move?
Oh, no.
No.
Just rock out the worm or something, do a flip.
Were you be confident in that in general, though? Or was it just a take a risk and see what happens type of thing?
Yeah, I think back then I was confident. I think now it's sort of a take a risk and see what happens.
Fair enough. All right. Now, what are some fun facts about you, Sam, that people may not know about you?
I'd say one, I was born in America.
Okay, that is a fun fact. Yes.
Yeah, I was born in California, which, not most people know unless that you know me.
Yeah.
That's probably the main one. Otherwise, I feel like most people, I don't know, would kind of know. That's like the one thing which people are like, oh, bit surprised on. I'm not Australian whatsoever. I'm half American and half New Zealander as well.
Okay.
Which shocked people. Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't have picked up on that. When did you move from America? Was it really early on, or was it only recent? Oh, within the last 7 years or so?
No, very early on. So I've grown up in Australia. I was born in America. My mum grew up there. My dad lived there for a period of time as well. And then, I was probably there, I'd say, for like 4 months, and then came over here and, have grown up in Australia. So
not even scuffle, but it still counts.
No. Yeah.
That's fair enough. All right. Now, this is the part of the interview where teammates' hearts may get broken and teammates may like you more for it. Now, I told you, Sam, I'm going to try again. So we've got 3 attempts here. All right. So the first one, it's not too bad. First one is best chatterbox at the club.
Oh, okay. At Giants, Megs. Yep. I can hear Megs from she's my best friend. So I can always hear her. She's a yapper.
Yeah.
So I'd say Megs at Giants. At club, Olivia Dolly. Dolly, she's also one of my best friends. I can always hear her. We're always yapping together, but I can't say anything because I'm the biggest chatterbox myself. I'm always talking.
That's fair enough. So, people would say the same thing for me, and like I've always said, and like I said earlier, it's not a bad thing at all. Like the limelight bit, it's not a bad thing. I mean, people can think it is, but it's not. And I mean, on a football field, so let's be real, you need to talk. You can't be a mute.
Yeah, no, they are two of my best friends, and we all yapped, like we're all yappers. So yeah, no, definitely them in a good way.
So meet the yappers.
Yeah.
Something else, so there you can replace that word with that. That's a good one.
Yeah.
All right, next one. Okay, who is the loudest and quietest teammates?
Oh.
Mm.
I mean, neither are a bad thing.
No, they're not.
No. Loudest, I'd probably stick with the two people that talk the most, to be honest. Quietest, I don't know. There's a few. There's a lot of the younger girls at academy, obviously. You know, I'd say them. But like the loudest ones, like I could say it's all of us older girls are all the loudest. All of us are always talking. Like there's no one in particular. It's honestly all of us. We're always talking. We're all really good friends. Yeah. So I just honestly compare it between the younger girls and the older girls.
That's fair because I mean, I suppose with people that are either just getting in to a club or have, as you said, younger than the ones that have been there for a while, I suppose it's like kind of trying to acclimatise and adjust to a new or you said they're older compared to being younger, and it's like they need to settle in first before they bring it out. It's like maybe they want to bring it out, but they're like, let's settle in first, and then once we start to get settled in, okay, then we're coming out of the show.
Yeah, well, that's me. Like, I'd say I'm a pretty quiet when I first meet someone, and then after a day, loud. So, yeah.
Again, not a bad thing. We're going to stress it enough. Now, this is the one where I'm really trying here. Who, if you're stuck on a deserted island, Sav, with teammates, who are you bringing and not bringing, and why?
Oh, how many can I choose here?
Bring 50. You can bring one. You can throw as many names you like. More the better.
Okay, if I'm being honest, like I actually would be fine being stuck with any of them. All of my footy, all the girls from footy, they're all of my best friends. You know, some great friendships. I would be absolutely fine with any of them. I will not be saying who I would not want to be with because genuinely there isn't anyone because I love everyone and I think everyone would agree as well. I actually think we'd have fun if we're all stuck on an island, to be honest. I think all of us would love it.
All right, I'll leave the name parts out, but all right. Is there a particular person, like not a specific name, but like if there's a specific trait from someone that doesn't? It's like, for example, you would say to someone, whoever that is, look, if you do this, you're not invited. Is there something that someone would do that you would say then, okay, you're not coming then?
No, I'd say we're all, not only myself, but all of us, if there's something going on, I think we're all pretty, like we all forgive quite easily, and we all just accept the fact that, even in the team environment, like in the sport AFL environment, like we're all in it together at the end of the day. So I think we're all pretty responsible and mature in that sense and we're all, like I said, we're all such good friends, like all of us. So I honestly don't think that there's anyone. Yeah.
Fair enough. I tried cracking you. I kind of did a little bit, but not those last few, but well done. You passed. You passed. I tried. All right. Now, this topic is not about teammates, but there's got to be answers here. There's got to be clear-cut answers to this one because this is the hot topic food questions where I don't know what people here in Australia serve get so worked up over it. Now, some fun facts. Only 10 people have answered all 6 food questions to how I would. Only 7 people have said the illogical wrong answer for this first question, and score a multitude of people are on is 3. So if you get 2 or lower, you'd be the first one to do that, and that you don't want to be that person. Now,
Oh, no.
first,
Okay.
hardest, most debated question of the 6: chicken palmy. Is it a palmy or is it something else?
I knew this was coming. Nah, it's a palmy. It's not a palmer. It is not a palmer. It's a palmy.
But the way you started that is, I'm like, oh shit, she's going to say the opposite, and you did. So you did good. You know what? You know what I tell everyone that says that stupid, illogical, wrong answer? I say to them, okay, spell it out for me. Oh no, it just is. No, spell it out, and then you get the I first, don't you? You don't get no other letter.
It's a palmy. Honestly, I don't know anyone that calls it a palmer. I don't. It's a palmy.
You know normal people, because unfortunately I've heard opposite answers. I've heard mixture of answers. So at least you know normal people.
Very unfortunate.
Yeah, I know. It's boggles my mind. Right, the next one, pineapple on a pizza, yes or no?
No.
Yes, 2 for 2. Good.
Okay, I've passed.
They're the 2 hardest ones. The other ones, some are easy and some will be interesting. Depends on the type of food, I guess. All right, the next one, tomato sauce, cupboard or fridge?
Oh. Okay, I mean, I don't care where it is, but I'd keep it in the cupboard.
I wish I'll give you a bonus. In fact, I'm going to give you a bonus point for this, because you not only said the exact same answer I would say, you've now also said the other answer if I had to pick one. So I would say the same. I didn't give it crap which one it's in. And if I had to pick it, so you've tick. So you could be the first to get 7, because no one can get 7 from 6. So I said it like that. Not that I could think of. Yeah, they weren't on. So you could be the first now. You could be breaking records. All right, the next one is favorite food.
Oh, okay. This one's hard. The first thing that comes to my mind is sushi.
Okay.
Oh, no.
That's all. That's it. But you can still technically get 6 out of 6 because you got the bonus one. But that's okay. All right. Food you don't like.
Soup.
Any particular or just in general?
No, just in general. I can't get around drinking your meal. I can't get around it.
You know what? I mean, it wouldn't be my worst thing, but I'm not a big fan of soup, so I'll count that 5 out of 6. 5. Anyway, yeah, or whatever. Okay, the last one. Favorite takeaway place.
Oh, that is hard.
Mm.
Like fast food or just like anything?
Or it could be a restaurant type. Either or.
Oh, I think my go-to to take out is Chinese food.
Okay.
That's
Not
my
bad.
go-to. Yeah, love me some Mongolian beef and rice.
No, that's okay. That's not. So now you not only made history to being one of 11 people to get all questions correct. Well, you're now the first to get 6 points from 6 questions without getting them all correct. Funny enough.
I feel honored.
Yeah, that's a great honor. Confused. But that's okay. All right, good. All right, so well done. All right, now, so what would you say is some of your most prized possessions?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Mm.
I don't know, actually. I never have to think about this, so you're putting me on the spot here.
Premiership medallion, the one around the neck, maybe?
Oh, actually, yes. You know, after we won that, I didn't take that off for I slept with it that night. It was on my bedside table. Nah, I'd definitely be taking that with me. I say that. A weird
Maybe
one, but I always have a water bottle with me. I like to, emotional support water bottle. I like to have that.
You know what? You know what? Maybe when I started doing questions like this, I would have maybe said that was a bit. Probably wouldn't call it weird. I'd probably say maybe more interesting. But no, a lot of people say that now. It's somehow a common answer now. I hear that a lot. And I mean, a lot of people that have a bottle next to them as well. So it's like it is a common thing. It seems. So it's not bad.
No, I definitely would always have a water bottle on me.
Now, what about a phone?
Yes.
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 I'm glad you said that, because anyone that's around your age or my age, which is not that much different, anyone that says they don't need a phone, I think, especially at those ages, at our ages, is full of crap. I mean, you
Yeah.
forget it. You need it for yourself. You need it for everything. You need it for communication. Unless you're in the 30s and you're throwing paper airplanes with freaking notes on it or whatever, I don't know how they can communicate.
No, I definitely won't say no to that. It's a yes.
It's a non. So I'm glad you said it, even though I brought
Yeah.
it up. Next one. If your teammates were to describe you in a word or a sentence, Sav, what would they describe you as?
Probably I'd say chatty. I'm always chatting. Yeah, chatty. I don't know, maybe random. I just come out with the most random things sometimes.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, probably one of those two, to be honest.
that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Some good ones there. All right. So quirks. Is there any quirks that people would say that you have that you wouldn't necessarily like admitting?
Oh, I'm not too sure. These are questions that I've never had to think of, so it's kind of hard to think of them.
I'll give you some suggestions or answers I've heard before, like biting nails, twirling their hair, just being clumsy, anything like that.
Oh, maybe. Oh, I am quite clumsy. I seem to trip over myself a lot sometimes on the field. If you look back at some vision, I have a heap of videos of I've just tripped over myself on the field. Done that a few times.
See, that's a bit interesting, and to be captured on camera too.
Yeah, I have some in a folder.
Too much of the same thing,
Yeah.
and at different occasions.
Yeah,
Very
exactly.
good. Celebrity crush.
Oh, that's a tough one. Probably as of right now, I'd say Robert Irwin.
Okay. The crocodile. Fair enough.
Yeah, nah. As of right now, Robert Irwin.
Right now, that's the key word there. Right now, it might be different in
Nah,
10 minutes.
it changes, but
Might
right.
be different in a week or two. All right. So I've got a few more for you, Seth. So I do really appreciate you coming on. So defenders, I feel like now you'll know this more than anyone now. Yeah, defenders, I feel like they deserve a bit more love than what they get. Obviously, the forwards got the Coleman, the mids got the Brownlow. Rucks get recognised in Brownlow votes these days. Do defenders deserve their own official title of an award as well?
Oh, 100%. I think, as a Giant supporter, our main our back line in Giant is just amazing. And I'd say Sam Taylor, he needs an award. He deserves an award. They all do, but specifically him. So yeah, definitely I'd say the backs need their own award.
Absolutely, they definitely go unrecognised. Even at AFL, AFLW level, you hear about all these players. Oh yeah, he did well or she did well. It's like it's a mid. That's a mid. Oh, that's a forward. That's a mid. Another mid. Mid. Oh,
No,
there's a defender.
Exactly. And as I now play in the backs, I definitely I used to not like the backs or be playing back there, but I think it's a lot of pressure being in the back line. You're trying to defend the goals away, obviously. And you're in a one-on-one contest, it is a lot of pressure. So
Sure. Game day superstitions, Sav. Do you have any game day superstitions you must require to do?
So I always have a ribbon in my hair. All the girls know I always have a ribbon in my hair. That's probably the main one, to be honest. Yeah.
Nice and basic. Sometimes that's good. Favorite music?
Oh, Taylor Swift.
I'm glad you mentioned Taylor Swift because not many people do. I mean, look, I'm not a fanatic. I'm not a Swiftie, as they say, as you probably say you are too.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not a hater, and I'm not a lover, if that makes sense. So, I mean, in between. So about 2 or 3 months ago, when she came to Melbourne, and I think she was in Sydney as well, was she? So,
Yes.
first off, did you go to that?
I did. I went twice.
And now she's a real Swift. Sav's a real Swiftie now.
I am.
You did now. Okay. So, I mean, I don't probably really say this example because you'll know everything I mean. But now, so obviously, so in this one example, this is a true story. So one time I was just talking to someone I knew, and for the context, we'll call him John for this. So I was like, John was annoying me, and I just said, John, mate, just shake it off. Now, of course, you know what that is, right? And now I didn't intentionally say it because it's Taylor Swift, and he went off his chops. He was going insanely angry. He's like swearing and complaining and moaning. I'm like, mate, he's like going off on me for saying, don't you dare talk about that stupid talking about Swift. Like, calm down. Like, I don't like her. He said this, not me. I don't like her. I'm like, okay, just relax. I'm thinking to myself in my head, I'm like, okay, somehow he's a hater, okay? So, look, John, now, because I knew that is the song I do know of hers off the top of my head, so I said, look, John, then to piss him off, I said, John, all you got to do is hate. And he
call yourself a Swiftie.
You probably could now in a way, because from that reason alone, like I was fine beforehand, but that's like kind of intensified it up a little bit. And yeah, but the reason I brought this up is because if you ever want to annoy someone, Steph, who's annoying you and they don't like Taylor Swift, just use the Taylor Swift references and they'll just lose the chops and they might shut up.
Exactly. No, that's something that I'll always keep with me.
That is quite short. And I want to top it off. So when I chat with that individual or some others, it'll be similar to like this, on the call. And now on the StreamYard side I use, and I have the power obviously to change the pictures, the banners, everything. And I also have songs I can put on here. So guess what I've got on here in case he wants to piss me off? It's a Taylor Swift Shake It Off one on there.
Yeah.
Because I've got the control of it.
Oh, you're in control. Yeah.
I'm in control. And he can't stop me from doing it. Well, he can. Don't annoy me. Or I'll play the song. That's basically what I say now. Okay, you want to annoy me? Yeah, basically. Yeah. So, absolutely. Now, two more for you, appreciate coming on. So, what rule would you change, add and or remove if you were the AFLW CEO for a day? You're in charge. You can change whatever you want and add whatever you want. What are you adding or removing?
That's a good one. Oh, okay. Let me think, because there's quite a few.
Good, because there is a few that do need to be removed. That's for sure. But anyway.
Yeah. No. Definitely. Maybe I think if you in goals, hitting any post should be a point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be beneficial.
Yeah. Speaking from experience there.
Sometimes.
No, you wouldn't be the only one.
Yeah, no, I'd say that, be beneficial for not only the whole team, forwards as well. Always, given a crack at it, may as well get a point in return.
Yeah, no, I don't mind that. That's a good one. Any other ones you got?
Maybe honestly, maybe as much as it annoys me when I watch someone else do it, I think it'd be good for me being on the wing or something, being able to just run without having to bounce.
Yes, I don't mind that. I was talking to someone recently about this, just more of a general chat, and I'm like, you shouldn't have to bounce it. I mean, isn't that more impressive? Oh, I mean, it's impressive to do that, but you can still get caught either way.
No, exactly. I mean, as much as it annoys me when I watch another team and, it's like when it's the umpire to blow the whistle, like she's taking too many steps, I think it'd be pretty beneficial for me and my team. Yeah.
Absolutely. I like that. Now, what do you think, too, about the stand rule?
Oh, that one annoys me because it always changes. Like you move, one step too early, it's a 50. Like I think it's pretty frustrating. Yeah, so that one definitely should actually be changed now that you mentioned that.
Yeah, it gets exploited a little bit. I mean, like they're a bit lenient sometimes, and then sometimes they're not. It's like you got the rule there. Either pay them all. You can't pick and choose which ones. It's just for any team. It's just frustrating to see. And the umpiring this year. Don't get me started on the AFL umpiring this year. I mean, every week when I do my own weekly podcast, like there's like a rant segment I do, and like that's on almost every week because it's not for the sake of just wanting to talk about something to a degree. Well, it's called a rant segment, so you got to rant about something. It's like it's a feature all week because it's getting bad. I feel every week now this year alone.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, it's a bit shocking.
And that's right. And tribunal, that's another thing. Don't me. I can go to whole that stuff. But now, it's one for yourself. So I do appreciate coming on. If you could map out a dream footy scenario for yourself from right now all the way to the end of the year, how would you love that ideally to pan out?
Oh, look, that's a good question. I honestly think this scenario in my head would change day to day, dependent on me and my mood, I'm gonna say. Which I know which is a bit weird, but obviously going back into club footy now, and being fortunate enough to play in East Coast Eagles, sorry, where a lot of girls do get drafted from there. I think it'd be pretty cool to, get drafted from a club team.
Yeah.
Which a lot of girls have done. I'm not too sure. I'm quite content and happy with myself at the moment. And if a bigger opportunity came, obviously that would be amazing. But hopefully one day to play AFLW, even play some VFL. Yeah, I honestly anything would make me pretty happy at the moment. I've come to terms with just playing footy to love footy, and not to lose the love for footy just dependent on what level you play at, which I think is one thing which a lot of girls, if you're lacking confidence or the mental side of things, just at the end of the day, just you're there to play footy. We're here, we love footy, and not to overthink it. And just don't lose the love for footy because once you've lost the love, it'll be a dread. And luckily I haven't got into that and don't want to get to that. So yeah, I'd probably say just keep doing what you're doing, and what will happen. And
that's right. What you said there was spot on, and just from this chat alone, Sav, it'd be great to see you get to that level, and it's great the positivity that you bring among here as well. And you mentioned there, and I have to ask this now that you mentioned this, V4W, is that something, if that opportunity was to rise, and you said you're willing to kind of do anything to play at that level, AFLW level, so would that be something you would consider for next season to go join a V4W, if the AFLW thing didn't happen at the end of this year? Would that be something you'd look into for the next year?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely would look into that. And that may or may not have been my last year in Giants if I become an overager next year. So yeah, definitely something that I would be interested in, and would look further into. But as I said, I think at the current moment in time, I think I'm pretty content with myself and where I'm at. And yeah, but if that opportunity came, I definitely would get ahead of it.
That's very good, Sav. I really appreciate kind of thing. Great having you on. All the best rest of the year, and hopefully another premiership back to back.
Thanks, thank you for having me.
Anytime. Thank you.